Next on Startup, we head over to Nashville, Tennessee to talk to Chip, a musician turned roadie who created Celebrity Bus Drivers Academy, a one-of-a-kind school that teaches people how to drive a bus for celebrities. Then we head over to St. Louis to talk to Dawn, a true humanitarian who created Made for Freedom, a clothing company that employs the former victims of human trafficking. All of this and more is next on Startup.
It all starts with an idea, and everyone has them. In the world of business, where you choose to take your idea determines where your idea will take you. Baker College is proud to support Startup and those who dare to share their ideas with the world.
The American small business was built on one thing: relationships. And every time a customer walks through the door, a new one begins. Pay Anywhere was built to help entrepreneurs do what they do best. So keep loving what you do. Just get paid for it. Pay Anywhere.
The Chevrolet Volt, an everyday electric car with gas for longer trips. The nature of things to come. Chevrolet, find new roads.
American Express is proud to support Startup and the millions of small businesses that put in the hard work to be open for business in neighborhoods across the country.
My name is Gary Brado, and I'm a documentary filmmaker and an entrepreneur. The economy is in less than perfect shape, and when the jobs go away, there's nothing left to do but get up and get creative. And there are people all over America doing just that. It's estimated that up to 85% of new businesses fail. So I'm going coast to coast to hear the personal stories of the people who beat the odds and started a successful business from the ground up. This is Startup.
I'm on Nashville Pike in Gallatin, Tennessee. And we're gonna go talk to Chip, who created the Celebrity Bus Drivers Academy. Although Chip already had a successful career in the tour bus industry, he never believed in retirement. So he took his years of knowledge and he started this unique training program. Let's go hear his story. Across the United States, the bus industry is made up of around 3,000 local and regional bus companies. To become a driver for a charter bus, you have to start with about 1 to 3 months of training and obtain a commercial driver's license. Chip loved everything about the music industry, but after giving it his best shot in Nashville, he decided that if you can't beat them, join them. As their bus driver, that is. All right, Chip, let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
I want to know who you are as a person. Give me a little bit about your background and your history.
Okay. Number one, I've never had a real job in my life. I've been in the music business since I was 16 years old.
Congrats.
Yes, there you go. I moved to Nashville in 1980 to sing backup for Donna Fargo. Ended up eventually driving her bus because I knew how to drive a bus. Went from that into tour managing, drove a bus, was a booking agent for a while, drove a bus, tried to be a singer again for a while, drove a bus. You've heard of has-beens?
Yes.
I'm a never was.
Okay, God, I'm starting to see a pattern here with the driving the bus thing,
Yeah,
okay?
absolutely. In the late 80s, another fellow and I, who were driving buses for a guy who owned about 4 buses. And one day he said to us, I want out of this business. If you guys will take these 2 buses, I'll own or finance them for you. So all of a sudden I was a bus company owner. From that, I eventually bought the partner out, ended up building it into arguably one of the 3 biggest and best bus leasing companies in the United States of America. All the time I owned that coach company, I got approximately 20 calls a month from Greyhound drivers, seated bus drivers, truck drivers saying, how do I get into driving for the stars? Right. So once I retired, sold the company, I'm looking around for something to keep myself going, to stay in the edge of the business, and I thought, I'm gonna start a school and teach these guys. And because I was in the business so long, I know all the owners across America. They know if I send the guy to them, he knows what he's doing, and that I'm gonna be there mentoring the guy. Part of my service is to mentor these guys after I get them a job.
Let's talk about the sale of your company. Was it a large sale?
The company owned 50 of these buses at the time, so yes, it was a rather large sale.
What did they go for?
$1 million, give or take a little bit.
Okay, I can do the math.
Yeah.
Carry the one. Yeah, you
Exactly.
made all right. That is a huge number.
Absolutely, it is.
Why does it cost $1 million for a bus like this? Just out of curiosity.
The bus itself is $500,000. The interior work is all custom, and you pay for custom work.
So there is an industry standard on the way these things are set up.
For the most part, yes, but like I say, that we can do anything as far as customization inside a bus that you want.
What's the craziest stuff you've ever seen inside a bus?
Revolving shoe racks, recording studios.
Oh, I can imagine that'd be useful on the road, though.
Just pretty much anything that you can fit in this space,
Yeah.
they'll put in here for you. Hot tubs, you name it, they'll put them in here.
A lot of demands, a lot of stress.
A lot of demands. The people you're dealing with expect the best, and they expect everything to be perfect, and face it, life is not perfect. The buses generally roll after show at night when the band tears down, loads up their trucks, their buses, they head off overnight to the next city. So if there's going to be a problem, it's usually at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And I never once had a tour manager call me at 2 or 3 in the morning to tell me what a great job I was doing.
Tour bus drivers, and you have all the cliches of, you know, the groupies want to get on the bus, down to you're hanging out partying with the musicians and artists. What's the truth?
The truth is that it's a fun job to work in, but it is a job. The band does not like to look across the stage and see their driver over there watching the show when they know they've got a 10-hour drive that night. They want to go to sleep and know their driver's staying awake. They want him back in the hotel sleeping.
If you're thinking of becoming a charter bus driver, you must maintain a driving record free of any major traffic citations, or your chances of scoring a good gig are pretty slim.
How did you go about the school? Did you need accreditation? Where did you find the space? Where did you get the students? Tell me the whole process.
Very good. There was no accreditation. This has never, ever before been done on a legitimate basis, teaching entertainer drivers to drive.
It's niche.
To my knowledge. It's a niche business. It for sure is. In the very beginning, I partnered up with another fellow by the name of Tandy Rice, and done a similar school to this for musicians. So with my experience with the buses and my knowledge of buses and drivers and his experience of how to put it together, we hired a publicity company. We put some publicity out there. Got a lot of interest in the beginning from the media, which turned into quite a few students. We had 13 students came to that first class. Truck drivers, a lot of them have a hard time understanding and getting into this because they're not used to their load, as you would say, talking back to them or being part of it.
And
Strawberries
they seem to
don't
be
talk
maybe
back to you.
a little bit more introverted type of person.
Yes, yes. And I'm not saying truck drivers are bad. I'm just saying it's a little more of a learning curve for them. It's a little more something for them to get used to. And you've got an artist in the back that says, I want to stop here, I want to go there, I want to do this. And a lot of them are just not used to it.
So is that a lot of the kind of the learning curve, is personality or psychological sort of training?
Absolutely, it really is. And there's an awful lot of training in driving smooth, easy, and no sharp turns, and no hard braking, and no hard accelerating. You know, most of the time when you're driving at night, people are asleep, and what you're trying to do is let them sleep because you know they've got to get up. These crew guys call a lot of times for setup is 8 a.m. and these guys work straight through the day till the loadout's done at 2, and they've got a few hours of sleep on the bus, and that's your job, is to let them sleep. We expect them to come to the table with at least 3 years of commercial driver license experience.
Yeah, you're not a truck driving school. What
Exactly.
you're teaching is the finesse of dealing with celebrities and a tour, essentially.
Yeah, you figured that out quite well.
So what does it cost to go to take a class?
The tuition for the class is $1,000. It's a 4-day class. I've had a lot of people say to me, how can you teach a guy to do this in 4 days? You can't. But in 4 days of really intense training, I dare anybody to come up with more than we give them.
Are there any other, celebrity bus driving schools now?
There still are none to my knowledge, zero.
You have the market cornered.
Oh, I do. I do.
Only 6 states currently require seatbelts on buses. Even with this statistic, up to 80% of new coaches have seatbelts installed.
How valuable is Chip's business to you here? I mean, you have 47 buses, they need drivers. Was there a need for what Chip does?
Oh, absolutely. You know, our industry is a little bit different than a seated bus or a truck driver, and it's almost like a elite club, and you need to know the ins and outs of how it works. And guys coming in fresh, they don't know how the business operates and know what to do.
I love my job. I love my job more because it was such a feat for me to get into this industry. So anything that I can do for Chip whenever he calls, you know, they ask me to come and speak at the school on different occasions. You know, if I'm home, I'm more than happy to go.
Give them some real world experience.
Give them some real world experience for sure. And like I said, it's not all glamorous. I mean, there's going to be some tours that aren't going to be so good. There's going to be some people that, you know, you don't quite click with.
The more you can learn to adapt your personality to fit every genre of music and entertainment, the better it's going to be for you in the long run.
Well, thank you so much, man.
Thank you for coming to Nashville and talking to the Celebrity Bus Drivers Academy.
Absolutely.
There are a million ways to start a business, but how did Chip do it? Let's find out. He started with $10,000 in the bank and a credit score of 687. His first year sales were around $50,000, which was a break even. He spent only $4,000 to start his business, which he used out of his savings. And the one word that Chip uses to describe what it really takes to make it in business is grit.
Chip definitely had the drive to put this business on the road to success. You can't just sit in one place spinning your wheels. You gotta put your dreams in gear and don't stop until you reach your destination. For more information, log on to our website and click the link for Celebrity Bus Drivers Academy.
You can't really be afraid of failure, it'll paralyze you. And we embrace a big risk. There's a culture in this company that likes to do things that are new, that are different, that are unprecedented. And what we're ultimately doing is asking ourselves if this is something that we would love, sharing that with the world and listening and seeing how other people use it. We learn from that, and it drives us to do more and to take bigger risks. But ultimately the failures, they disappear and they're forgotten, but the successes are what becomes addictive.
Next time on Startup, we head to Nashville, Tennessee to meet with Susan and Rowan, two devoted and passionate human services professionals who started Miller Rich, a company that places people with intellectual disabilities into loving homes. Then we head to Asheville, North Carolina to meet with Lauren and Matt, a highly educated and business-savvy married couple who created Zapow, an art gallery with a twist that's drawing national attention. Be sure to join us next time on Startup.
Yeah, that's another option for you.
Okay.
See, this might be a little bit more your color.
This one fits perfect. Oh, it feels good too.
Like it was made for you.
I feel very free.
Well, so I know we're on opposite sides of the fence, but why do you always gotta balk about what you do, huh?
American Express is proud to support startup and the millions of small businesses that put in the hard work to be open for business in neighborhoods across the country.
The Chevrolet Volt, an everyday electric car with gas for longer trips. The nature of things to come. Chevrolet, find new roads.
The American small business was built on one thing: relationships. And every time a customer walks through the door, a new one begins. Pay Anywhere was built to help entrepreneurs do what they do best. So keep loving what you do. Just get paid for it. Pay Anywhere.
It all starts with an idea, and everyone has them. In the world of business, where you choose to take your idea determines where your idea will take you. Baker College is proud to support startup and those who dare to share their ideas with the world.